we are fully constituted, we can resume.
All right, my lord. My lord, may I pray for Constitution Exhibit 15? So, Mr. Mpamizo, you say you analyzed the call data and the bank statements. Please take court straight to the findings.
My lord, upon analysis of the mobile money statement, phone number 0769 58 26 20, I was able to establish.
Sorry, repeat that number.
0769 58 26 20.
What did you establish?
Upon a review of the statement for the period 1st January 2026 to 2nd April 2026, I established that
yes,
the said number had a total credit of 6,442,995 Uganda shillings. 442,995 shillings.
yes,
And a total debit of Uganda shillings 6,299,728 Uganda shillings. Hence, a closing balance of Uganda shillings 123,266.
123.
123,266.
okay. What else did you observe?
My lord, this amount of credit was found to have come from 3 sources.
Which one and which one?
Stanbic Bank by way of banker to wallet, originating from account number.
You're going to go a little slower than that.
I think now I will be prompting you before you speak the next one. Stanbic Bank.
Account number.
By way of bank to wallet. From which account?
From Stanbic account number 903 002
yes
728 5324, a UGX account in the name of Onyum Christopher Okello.
Okay.
Could you please interpret?
Mukwekenneenya statement eno. Statement yali ekwata ku namba 07695826 ng'era mu kujekenneenya yali eyogera ku nnaku z'omwezi okuva nga 1 omwezi ogwa January mwaka 2026 paka nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026, era nakizuula nti statement ebikwata ku namba eyo sente zaali ziyiseeko kwali kugenzeko miliyoni obukadde 6,442 mu siringi 995 era ne kugibwako obukadde 6,229 mu 728 ng'era ezaali zisigaddeko kwali kusigaddeko emitwalo 10,236 siringi eze Uganda.
Agre, what do you mean by?
Era sente zino zaali zivudde mu mikutu gya mirundi esatu nga zaali zivudde mu Stanbic Bank omutendo ogusooka nga ze zaava ku akaunti okudda ku ssimu nga zaava ku akaunti namba 903 noti 2728 ku akaunti ya sente za Uganda ng'eri mannya ga Onyum Christopher Okello.
What do you mean by bank to wallet?
My lord, this was a transaction where a phone number 0769 58.
Is it the accused's number?
Yes, that's the number
If you
for
can.
the accused.
Maybe you can summarize it that way, whenever you refer to it.
The number for the accused was receiving money from the account by way of transferring the funds.
Kyentegeeza okuva ku banka okudda ku ssimu ennamba y'avunaanibwa yali efuna sente okuva ku akawunti okudda
What was
ku
the other
ssimu.
source?
My lord, the second source was by Teller Pay,
Can you spell that?
TERRPARRAPAY, Teller Pay.
Please repeat that.
TERRAPAY.
Okay.
What is that?
Teller Pay is an international money transfer platform that cuts across the borders. It operates like Visa.
Agre, we are
Mr. Mpamizo,
Please,
you're taking us real speed.
you have all the time. Let's not keep reminding you about that. Huh?
It is an international money transfer platform.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
That operates globally. And operates similar to Visa and MasterCard.
And what was the third source of credit?
My lord, the third source of credit was from an individual on telephone number
Yes.
0781 24 25 84, registered in the names Gerard Tumine.
Engeri endala ey'okubiri yali eyitamu terape nga eno yentambuza ya sente mu nsi yonna ng'era ekola nga bw'okozesa Visa Pay oba Mastercard. Enyingiza endala ey'okusatu sente zaali ziva wa muntu ng'ali ku namba y'essimu namba 07812242584 ng'ennamba ye eri mu mannya ga Gerald Tumusiime.
Any other?
Tumwine.
Tumine.
Mwine. Any other observations on his mobile money transactions?
My lord, I went ahead to observe that on 2nd April 2026 at 11, that is 11 a.m.
11. Did you capture the seconds?
The seconds 05 seconds.
Yes.
The number of the accused made a
which is?
transfer, which is 0769 58 26 20.
Made a transfer
Of Uganda shillings 195,000 to a mobile number 0772 966 956, registered in the name Annette Agoye.
okay.
era nagenda maaso
Etu Agoye.
Annette Agoye, AGOE.
nenkizuula nti nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 ku ssaawa 5:11 mwezi okumakya ennamba 0769582822 nga ye yavunaanibwa yasindika ssente emitwalo 19,150 ku namba 0772966956 ng'eri mu mannya ga Annette Agoye.
Were you in position to establish the location at which that particular transaction was made?
Yes, my lord.
What did you establish?
According to the call data record for the same number 0769 58 26 20, the transaction at 11/11/05 is reflected that the number was at Gaba Beach.
Okusinziira ku call data oba bye twajja mu MTN, entambuza ya ssente ezo yakolebwa ku ssaawa 11:11 n'obusekensi 5
Si 11.
ku ssaawa 5:11 n'obusekensi 5 ng'era kyakolebwa zaasindikibwa ng'omuntu ali ku biiki y'eggaba.
So other than the mobile money, what other analysis did you?
My lord,
Take.
I went ahead to analyze the call data record
For which number?
for mobile number 0769
07
58 26 20. My findings were that this number ceased to make any communication on 2nd April 2026 at 11
says to communicate on
2nd April 2026
at
11:38:07 hours from location Gaba Beach.
Era nagenda maaso okwekenneenya ekwala ku eno nnamba 0769582822 n'enkizuula nti ennamba eno yasemba okukozesebwa nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 ku ssaawa 5:38 ne seconds 7 ez'okumakya
any other
ku
observation?
biiki y'eggaba.
My lord, I also observed that the only direct voice call made by that number on the 2nd day of April 2026 was an outgoing voice call.
Yes.
To a police emergency number,
To a police.
emergency number 256
Yes.
256 323 112 112.
Did you establish at what time the accused made that call?
This call was made at 11:25:22.
location
from a location named Gaba Beach.
Era nagenda maaso n'enkizuula nti essimu yokka eyali ekubiddwa ennamba eyo nga kwolwo olunaku nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 yali ekubwa ng'era bakuba ku nnamba ya poliisi ebiba biguddewo amangu namba 256 32 31 12 11 ng'era yakubibwa ku ssaawa 5:25 ne seconds 22 ez'okumakya ng'era baagikubya kuva ku biiki y'eggaba.
For how long was that call?
My Lord, it lasted for 39 seconds.
Ng'era essimu eyo yakubibwa yamala obuseconds 39.
I will come back to that emergency call, but please tell court what else you did.
My
Mr.
Lord,
CDR.
I also analyzed the communication and the movement of this number a day prior to the fateful day, that is on 1st April 2026.
Yes.
I established that on 1st April 2026, the number for the accused 0769
Yes.
58 26 20 received calls from 2 individuals while at a location called Chanja.
Era nagenda mu maaso okwekenneenya empuliziganya n'entambula y'ennamba y'essimu nga 1 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 era n'enkizuula nti nga 1 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 ennamba yavunaanibwa 0769582662 yafuna amasimu yakubibwa amasimu okuva ku bantu 2
Who are
ngali
these individuals?
Echanja.
My Lord, the 2 individuals, the first one was 0740 4333 4333 I beg pardon.
Please.
0740 4333 It is registered in the name Bire Namara.
At what time?
The 2 calls were at 0755 37. That's the first call. And the subsequent call was at 08 18 55 hours. These were calls from 1 individual, my Lord.
The second one was at 08.
08 18 55 hours.
How about the second call?
The second call was from an individual,
The telephone?
0743 143.
Let me get that. The 2 calls, one at 7 and another one at 8, are from 1 person.
Yes, my Lord.
Okay. And then the second one?
The second one was from 0743
Yes.
143
Yes.
706 from an individual registered as Juma Hashim. The call was at 18, 17, 14 hours.
18.
17, 14 hours.
Okay.
From the same location, Chanja.
Who was at Chanja? From when you say from the same location, what do you mean?
This is the location of the accused.
Okay.
The number for the accused, my lord.
Okay. Interpretation?
Samba omuntu asooka yali yakuba nga akubisa namba 0740 43 ng'ennamba ewandiisiddwa mu mannya ga Bbire n'amala nga yakuba ku ssaawa 1:55 ne seconds 37 ng'era omuntu y'omu yaddamu n'akuba ku ssaawa 2:18 ne seconds 55. Essimu eyo eyakubibwa omuntu omulala yali namba 0743 1437 ng'eyo yali ewandiisiddwa mu mannya ga Juma Hashim ng'era yakuba ku ssaawa 12:17 ne seconds 14.
Other than the movement and communication on the first, did you analyze any other date?
My lord, I analyzed the date of 2nd April 2026.
What did you find?
I was looking at the movement pattern and I was able to establish that number 0769 58 26 20 moved from Chanja where he received an SMS from MTN mobile money at 03:39 50 hours and moved to the next location, Eaton Clock Tower.
How do you spell Eaton?
EATON at 08:21 36 hours. The same number proceeded on that day to Bunga 2 from 08:44 47 up to 08:59
Up to
08:59 02 hours. And finally, at Gaba Beach,
Gaba Beach at what time?
from 11:07 55 hours to 11:38 07 hours.
Okay.
Era nagenda mu maaso ne nnondoola entambula y'ennamba y'essimu eno nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna mwaka 2026 era n'enkizuula nti ennamba eno 0769588262 yatambula okuva ekyanja eyafunira obubaka obwa MTN Sente ku ssimu ku ssaawa 9:39 ne seconds 5 n'avaawo n'agenda ku Eaton Clock Tower ku ssaawa 2:21 n'obuseconds 36 era ennamba y'emu ku olwo yagenda ebbunga n'abeera okuva ku ssaawa 2:44 n'obuseconds 47 okutuuka ku ssaawa 2:59 ne seconds 2 era n'akomekereza ku biiki eggaba okuva ku ssaawa 5:07 ne seconds 55 mpaka ku ssaawa 5:38 ne seconds 7.
Yes, what else?
My lord, I analyzed the call data to establish which handset this number was accommodated.
What did you establish?
I established that it was accommodated in a phone, a mobile phone with IMEI number 351.
The number was in mobile phone with
IMEI number 351 557 940 981 760.
Okay.
My lord, I analyzed.
Just hold on for interpretation.
Era nagenda mu maaso okwekenneenya essimu, ekika ky'essimu ekyalimu layini eno eyogerwako n'enkizuula nti ekika ky'essimu yali na serial number 3515940984
What else did you analyze?
My lord, I analyzed the KYC for this number 0769 58 26 20 and established that it was registered on 3rd November 2025 by Onyum Christopher Okello using his national ID.
National ID of which country?
Of Uganda. NIN number, NIN CM 87 127 100 CT ME.
nagenda mu maaso n'okwekenneenya ebyali byogera ku biwandiiko ebyali byogera ku namba eno 0769582622 era n'enkizuula nti yali ewandiisiddwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 3 omwezi ogw'e11 omwaka 2025 ng'era yali ewandiisiddwa mu mannya ga Onyum Christopher Okello nga yakozesa ndagamuntu ye eya Uganda NIN number CM 871271 noti CT ME.
How about the bank accounts?
My lord, the same national ID was used at the time of opening the bank accounts.
Era ku by'akawunti za banka ndagamuntu y'emu eyakozesebwa okugulawo akawunti ezo.
Yes. Which bank accounts?
My lord, the 3 bank accounts which were opened on 5th November 2025, they are UGX account 9030027
UGX account number
9030027 28 53 24. USD account 90300
90300
27 28 54 13 and USD account 90
Another USD account.
another USD account, my lord,
number
903 002 72 84 56.
yes.
Era kizuula nti oba akaunti za banka zino zaggulibwawo nga 5 omwezi ogw'11 omwaka 2025 nga akaunti esooka yali eterekebwako siringi za Uganda nga eri namba 9-0-0-2-7-28-53-24. Akaunti endala ng'eterekebwako sente za dola eri 9-0-0-2-7-28-53. Endala nayo ng'eterekebwako sente za kika kya dola ng'eri namba 9-0-3-0-2-7-28-45-6.
Yes.
I went ahead, my Lord, to examine and analyze the card history secured from MTN for this number 0769.
Sorry, you're going back to MTN? I thought you were in the bank.
No, let's finish the bank. We are in the bank.
My Lord, I discovered that at the time of opening the accounts, there were initial deposits for each account. UGX account,
UGX, what was the initial deposit?
1,330,800 Uganda shillings.
The first USD?
The first USD had initial deposit of USD, United States dollars, 2,100.
And the second?
Second one had initial deposit of USD, 3,900.
Era nagenda mu maaso okwekebejja nti mu budde bw'okugulawo akawunti namba zino kwateekebwako sente ezatandikirwaho ng'era ku akawunti okuterekebwa sente za Uganda kwali kuterekeddwako akakadde kamu $3,308. Akawunti endala eterekebwako dola esooka yalina dola 2,100. Akawunti ey'okubiri eterekebwako dola yalina 3,900.
Yes.
My Lord, I also established that Onyum Christopher Okello provided information in the account opening documents that he was a farmer, resident of Gaba.
Era nagenda maaso n'enkizuula nti Onyum Christopher Okello mu kugulawo akawunti ebiwandiiko yawaayo n'ategeeza nti yali mulimi era nga abeera Gaba.
I also went ahead to establish that the UGX account 90
The UGX account?
90300 27 28 53 24 between November 2025 to 16th April 2026 had a total credit of Uganda shillings 20,243,864 and a total debit of Uganda shillings 20,135,968. hence a closing balance of 107,896 Uganda shillings.
Okay.
Era nagenda mu maaso n'enkizuula nti account number okuterekebwa sente ze Uganda, account number 9-3-2-2-7-2-8-5-8 wakati w'omwezi ogw'Ekkumi omwaka 2025 n'ennaku z'omwezi 16 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026 kwateekebwako ssente obukadde 20,240,364 ng'era ne kuggyibwako obukadde 20,13,598 kitegeeza nti kwali kusigaddeko
Uganda shillings 107,896.
emitwalo 10,786.
Did you look at the sources of the credits?
My Lord, there were various sources of credit, but the majority of the credits were coming from cash deposits, totaling 16,195,675 Uganda shillings.
Please repeat that.
Uganda shillings 16,195,675 from count deposits.
From?
Count deposits. These were money through count deposits. I mean cash deposits. While 4 million Uganda shillings was deposited via his MTN number.
4 million what?
4 million Uganda shillings.
How about the other USD accounts?
My Lord, I reviewed the 2 USD accounts and established that both received a one-time credit of deposits at the time of opening. That is 2,100 USD. And the funds were gradually withdrawn over the period ending 17th March 2026, leaving a balance
Over
of
the period ending
17th March 2026, hence a closing balance of USD 00.
Nagenda mu maaso okwekebejja n'enkizuula nti ssente ku akawunti zino zaali zigendako mu mitendera egy'enjawulo, ng'era nakizuula nti ku akawunti okugenda siringi kwagendako ssente, bateekako ssente enkalu, bateekako ssente obukadde 16 mu emitwalo 19,150 mu siringi 675, era ne bongera ne bateekako ssente obukadde 4 ng'akozesa namba y'essimu ye eya MTN ku kya akawunti eziteekebwako $, nakizuula nti zombi zaali zateekebwako ssente omulundi gumu mu kuggulwawo, ng'era kwe kuli $2,100 era nga ssente zagenda ziggyibwako mpola mpola okutuusa nga 17 omwezi ogwokusatu omwaka 2026, era nga akawunti ezo eza $, tekwasigalako ssente n'emu.
Mr. Mpamizo, I want to take you back as we wind up to the emergency call that You say the accused made on the 2nd of April 2026 at 11:25:22.
Yes, my lord.
You said that he made it on the number that you have read to court. As a police officer, are you familiar with the operations of these police emergency calls?
Yes, my lord. Uganda has 2 emergency numbers managed by Uganda Police Force. One,
You are going to be slow.
Uganda ina line 2. Police ya Uganda ina line 2 kuba nga waliwo ebiguddewo.
Yes.
one is 999 that is.
Esooka ye 999.
That is the national emergency number.
Eyo ye namba y'eggwanga eyebiba biguddewo.
Then we have international emergency number 112. These 2 numbers, they are toll free. They don't require any credit. One to have a credit on a mobile device.
They are toll free.
Ng'era ennamba endala ye 112 ng'eyo yansi yonna, ng'era ennamba zino zombi tezikwetagisa kubanga olinako sente ku simu y'okuzikuba.
Yes.
These 2 numbers, they have a call center where they are routed when one makes a call.
Are routed where?
They are routed to National Emergency Call Center, which is at Naguru Police Headquarters, National Command Center.
Ng'era ennamba zino waliwo bw'okuba simu ezo we bazikwatira ng'era ziri Naggulu ku headquarters za police.
Yes.
My lord, at the National Emergency Call Center, when a number is called as emergency from either 999 or 1112, it is received.
When a call is made, we are writing.
When a call is made, either to 999 or 112, it is destined to the National Emergency Call Center at Naguru.
It is?
Destined. It is routed to.
Yes, you already said that. They are all routed to the
And
National
it
Emergency
is
Center.
automatically received by the system. That will interact with the caller as he or she waits for the person to communicate. In other words, the caller is kept online waiting for an individual to communicate with.
Era ennamba zino zombiriri 999 oba 112 bwe zikubibwa zigenda butereevu kitongole ene wali we bateeka amasimu ago Naggulu ku headquarters za poliisi ng'era bw'ogikuba eyitamu mbagirawo naye nga kyuma kyekiba kikubeezaako nga bwe kyogera naawe nga bwe balinda omuntu okuba nga ayogerezeganya naawe.
So in terms of calls, either 999 or 112, how are those calls reflected on the call data records of the specific cell phone, on the specific call data record of the number that calls?
My lord, whether one uses 999 or 1112, it will be reflected to the National Emergency Call Center as 112.
Sorry?
At National Emergency Center, the number either 099 or 112 is reflected as 112 because of its international nature. And this information will be reflected on the data of the telecom that provides the routing. If the number is MTN, it will reflect that it came from MTN.
Okay.
If it is Airtel, likewise.
Okay.
Nti omuntu waba akozesezza 999 oba 112 eri ku center ewali kwatibwa amasimu gano gajja kulaga nti oba n'essimu eva mu ggwanga oba bweru bw'eggwanga, era nga kino kijja kuba kiraga okusinziira ku mukutu omuntu gw'aba akozesezza. Bw'aba akozesezza MTN era kijja kuba kigenda ku mukutu ogwo gwa MTN, oba bw'aba akozesezza Airtel era kiba kyerambika ku mukutu ogwo gwa Airtel.
And finally, if one wants to know whether specific phone X dialed 112 or 999, what would be the best source of that information?
My lord, the best source would be first checking the handset that made the call.
Era okuzuula omukutu ogwo bagukozeseddwa, ekyansinze omukutu ogwandisinze okuba nga ozuula kwe kukebera essimu eyo ekozeseddwa okuba.
Okay.
Then the person who received the call would be able to tell the nature of the call received.
N'omuntu aba akutte essimu eyo beekubiddwa asobola okumanya kika kya mukutu ky'oguba gukozeseddwa.
Finally, Mr. Mpamizo, in telecom terms, when a call reflects, for example, Gaba Beach, what does that mean?
My lord,
In terms of location.
in terms of location on the call data record, the location appearing in the call data will be the masked location. That is the mask for the telecom. That particular telecom is named at the time when it is installed.
mu lulimi lw'ebyempuliziganya okumanya ekifo nti oba gaba biiki mukutu gw'ebyempuliziganya gumanya omuntu wakubidde okusinziira ku linnya eriba lituumiddwa omulongooti ogwo bwe guba gusimbibwa guweebwa erinnya.
Thank you, Mr. Mpamizo. My Lord, that's all from him.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss, who is cross-examining him?
Smile.
Mr. Mpamizo, if you need to sit down, please, you can
I'm comfortable, my lord.
You're fine.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Kumbuga, any questions?
Afande, the information you have given us on record, is it connected to this crime?
That is for me to determine as court whether it is connected or not.
Much obliged, my lord. Afande, you have mentioned here some numbers that this person communicated to or with. Nichanja, Nigava here. Did you record statements from them?
My lord, I was not involved in recording statements.
Nze seetaba mu kuwandiika statements.
Okay. Afande, are you aware that this court commenced on 13th April this year?
I'm not aware.
Not aware.
Sikimanyi nti kkooti eno yatandika okuwulira omusango guno wa 13 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka 2026.
Will I be correct that some of your investigations were done on 17th day of this month?
True.
Kituufu nti okunoonyereza kwange okumu kwakolebwa ennaku z'omwezi 17 omwezi ogwokuna omwaka guno.
Afande, have you ever worked with MTN or the bank, Stanbic Bank?
No, my lord.
Sikolangako na mukutu gwa MTN oba Stanbic Bank.
My lord, I'm through with this witness.
Okay. Any re-exam, Mr. Mwaganya?
Not at all, my lord.
Mr. Mpamizo, thank you so much
Yes, my lord.
for coming and for doing this work. Have another witness coming on the stand?
Yes, my lord.
Ebale
That would
kujja
be
tufunawo
number
omujulizi
17.
omulala.
Are you ready?
FW 17.
Lord, Miss Anna will lead her, will lead him.
Good afternoon, sir. You're going to use the microphone, but I see there is sun there. We may have to change that witness stand. You people could extend this side.
We could push, my lord, we could push our.
Let's take it.
Okay, you're going to speak through the microphone. May I please know your names?
My Lord, I am by names of Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas.
Ale?
Harerimana, that is H-A-R-E-L-I-M-A-N-A.
How old are you, sir?
My Lord, I am 36 years old.
What's your religion?
My Lord, I am a Christian.
You know the oath? Please go ahead and take oath.
I, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give touching the matter before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay. Could you repeat your name for the record?
My name is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Harerimana Barnabas.
How old are you?
I am 36 years old.
Nze Assistant Superintendent wa Police nga nze Harerimana Barnabas nga nina emyaka 36.
And what do you do?
My Lord, I am a forensic biologist.
Where are you attached?
My Lord, I am attached in the Directorate of Forensic Services under the Department of Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Explosive Analysis, that is in short CBRNEA.
CBR.
CBRN, the E is small, hyphen A.
Repeat that, please.
C, capital C, capital B, capital R, capital N, small e, dash, capital A.
What are your qualifications?
My Lord, I hold a Bachelor of Science from the University of Dakhla, Brida in Algeria.
Could you spell that?
Okay, go slow. Bachelor of what?
My Lord, I hold a Bachelor of Science from University of SAD. SAD is spelled as S-A-A-D. Then Dakhla is D-A-L-E, that's L-A-B. Dakhla.
Could you go over it again? D-A?
Dakhla is D-A-L-A-B. Then Brida. That one is in Brida, Algeria.
Spell breeder.
Brida is B-L-I-D-A. That was in 2014, my Lord.
Yes?
My Lord, I hold a certificate of training in human identification workflow.
Human identification what?
Human identification workflow, that is HID.
Yes?
That was Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Okay.
What does Thermo Fisher mean? What is Thermo Fisher?
Thermo Fisher is a leading company in science, the world leading company in science.
Okay.
Together with Africa Biosystems.
Okay, which year?
That was 2020. I also hold a certificate of training in precision ID, next generation sequencing, that is NGS system for human identification. My road, that was by Thermo Fisher Scientific and Africa Biosystems.
In which year?
That was 2020. My road, I also have a certificate of training that is Hamilton Operators Training by Hamilton.
Yes?
That was in 2020. My road, I have a certificate of training in sample manager. That is by Thermo Fisher Scientific. That was in 2024. My road also, I have a certificate of training in data visualization. My Lord, I have a certificate of training.
In which year?
That was
Data visualization, which year?
2021. My Lord, I have a certificate of training in ISO 17025. That is the laboratory management systems. That was by PECB, that is professional certification, that is professional evaluation and certification board.
Okay.
As a read assessor.
In which year?
That was 2024.
Okay. So, for how long have you been working as a forensic biologist?
My Lord, I have worked as a forensic biologist for 6 years. This is my 7th year.
Nkoze mu department eno ey'okwekebejja okumala emyaka 6 guno gwe mwaka gwange ogw'omusanvu.
What are your roles as a forensic biologist?
My Lord, my roles as a forensic biologist, one is to examine and process biological exhibits. The other role, my Lord, is to analyze and interpret the results from the examined biological exhibits.
Analyze and interpret?
The results from the findings from the examined biological exhibits.
Yes?
My other role, after examination and analysis, I make reports of my findings. Then finally testify my findings in the courts of law.
Okay. So how do you usually receive these exhibits?
My Lord,
The ones that you examine and analyze.
my Lord, the exhibits from different stations of Uganda submitted through the forensic gateway.
Which stations are you talking about?
In this case, that
Different
was
stations?
police stations, my Lord. They reach the gateway of the Directorate of Forensic Services with their police form 17A, which indicates the different analysis required for the exhibit.
Yes?
When they reach the gateway, my Lord,
Just hold on.
What do you mean by gateway?
we have, the gateway is the reception of the Directorate, my Lord.
Please interpret that.
Ti mu mirimu gyange egimu ku mirimu gye nkola mwe muli okwekebejja n'okugoberera emitendera egy'okwekebejja ebizibiti ebiba bireeteddwa era n'okunnyonnyola ebiba bivudde mu kwekebejja ebizibiti ebyo era oluvannyuma lw'okwekebejja n'okwetegereza maliriza ne nkola alipoota ku bye mba nzudde era n'omulimu ogwala nkola ogw'okugendanga mu kkooti okuwa obujulizi. Ebizibiti bireetebwa okuva mu station za poliisi okuva mu ggwanga lyonna erya Uganda ng'era bisindikibwa ne bijja nga babiweerezaako poliisi fomu eyitibwa 17A eraga ebeerako bye beetaaga okuba nga byekebejjezebwa era bireetebwa awo ewatuukira ebiba birina okwekebejjezebwa.
Yes, when the exhibits reach the gateway?
My Lord, when the exhibits reach the gateway, depending on the requests on the exhibits to be analyzed, they are allocated a specific laboratory number.
Era ebizibiti ebyo biba bituuse awo we birina okutuukira okusinziira ku kusaba okuba kuteereddwako okulina okwekebejjezebwa biweebwa namba y'ekkeberezebwa we bakeberera.
Who allocates this number?
My Lord, the in charge of the gateway allocates the lab number to the exhibit.
Era oyo abeera awo ebituukira yabiteekako namba ku bizibiti ebyo.
Yes.
After verification and allocation of the lab number, my Lord, the exhibits are dispatched to the relevant laboratory
era oluvannyuma lw'okwekebejjezebwa n'okutegeera kiki ebyasabye biteekebwako akalambe akaawe balina okubyekebejja era ne bisindikibwa bye birina okwekebejjezebwa.
And they are dispatched to the relevant laboratory for temporary storage prior to their examination.
Bisindikibwa mu makeberero gye birina okukeberebwa ne biterekebwa awo nga birinda okwekebejjezebwa.
The head of the laboratory allocates the case to the analyst, who then proceeds with the examination of the exhibits.
Era akulira ekkeberero eryo alikwasa agenda okwekebejja oyo yennyini gwe baba bakwasizza n'agenda mu maaso neyekebejja ekizibiti ekyo.
Okay, so how then did you receive these exhibits?
My Lord, the head of the laboratory allocated to me this case.
Who is the head?
The head of the laboratory by that time was Superintendent of Police Kisitu Jaffa. Kisitu Jaffa.
Yes.
He allocated me the case. In this case, it was DFS. DFS/DNA/164/2026.
Yes, after allocating.
After allocation, I worked with the technician, who is AIP Busiku Shadrach, whose role was to go and pick the exhibit from their temporary storage to the sampling room.
Mu nsonga eno akulira ekkeberero yeyankwasa omulimu guno era nga mu budde obwo yali superintendent wa poliisi Kisitu ng'era yampa ku luno baali bagirambye DFS kasaze DNA kasaze 164 kasaze 226 era oluvannyuma lw'okunkwasa nakola n'omukugu ow'eddaala ya AIP Musik Shadrack yagenda n'abijjayo webali ebizibiti n'abijjayo webyali biterekeddwa akabanga akatono n'abireeta mu kasenge ak'okwekebejjezebwamu.
Yes, you received them.
When I received the exhibits, I confirmed the exhibits from the PF-17A. After confirmation, I proceeded with the sampling of.
How did you confirm these exhibits?
I confirmed the exhibits by opening them and verifying them on the police form 17A.
Yes. Nafuna ebizibiti bino nagenda mu maaso okubikula era n'okukakasa nga bwenkebera ku foomu ya poliisi kwe byali bireeteddwa eriko namba 17A okukakasa nti ebiri kuno era bye bimpeereddwa.
Yes.
I proceeded with the sampling of the exhibits and each exhibit was handled differently.
Nagenda mu maaso okulonderwamu ebizibiti bino era nga buli kizibiti kyakolwako nga kyo kimu ku kimu.
During the sampling of the exhibit, my lord, the exhibits were given specimen IDs. The specimen IDs started with 164 Y26 then S001 continuously.
The specimen IDs started with what?
Started with 164 Y26 S001 in sequence.
Okay. Then
After sampling of the exhibits, the sampled exhibits were repacked and the specimen obtained from the exhibits proceeded to the next steps of DNA analysis. Which included DNA extraction, quantification, detection, and finally analysis of the results.
did you analyze the results?
Yes, my lord, I analyzed the results.
After analyzing the results, what did you do?
Let's have interpretation.
Nagenda mu maaso n'okuggyako obutundu ku ebyo byali bireeteddwa era nga mu kwawulamu ebyali bigenda okukeberebwa buli kye twajjamu twakiteekako akalambe nga twatandika n'akalambe aka 164 wayi 26 sa 00 era oluvannyuma lw'okuggyako obutundu ku birina okukeberebwa twaddamu ebyasigala ebitooleddwako ne tubiddamu ne tubipakira ne tubibikka era obutundu twali tutoddeko ne tubusindika okugenda mu maaso ku ddaala ery'okukeberebwa.
Yes, what did you do after analyzing the results?
My lord, after the analysis of the results, I interpreted the results, then made conclusions on my findings, then I generated a report of the findings.
If this report is shown to you, would you be in position to identify it?
Yes, my lord.
How?
My lord, this report is signed by me as the analyst on all the pages. It is co-signed by the reviewer who reviews all the processes which I handled in examining the exhibits.
Who is the reviewer?
The reviewer was Wazodi Amos, who is a senior analyst in this case.
He's called who?
Wazodi Amos. Amos, S-I, at the end.
Yes.
Who reviewed, he signed on that report. Then also our names are on one of the pages within the report. My lord, also the report has a cover letter of the Directorate of Forensic Services.
Is it signed?
Signed by the acting AIGP Forensic Services, who is Andrew K. Mubiru.
Nagenda mu maaso okufuna ndagabutonde ne tuziteeka mu bipimo ne tuzeekebejja era oluvannyuma bwe byavaamu ne ngenda mu maaso n'okubinnyonnyola era ne nkola alipoota ey'ebyo ebyali bizuuliddwa. Ku alipoota eyo nsobola okugimanya kuba nateekako omukono ku buli muko era n'omwekebeza omukulu bwe nakola naye Wazadi Amos naye yateekako omukono era nga alipoota eyo eriko ebbaluwa eyateekebwako omukono omwami Andrew.
Anything else to help you identify this report?
The report, my lord, also has the seal of the Directorate of Forensic Services.
Era kuliko ne report eyo eriko n'envumbo ya Directorate of Forensic.
The forwarding letter was addressed to the OCID of the submitting station, which was Gaba Police Station.
Era ebbaluwa yali yejuweleza yali esindikibwa ewa OCCID owa station ye Gaba.
My lord, that's
You
how I
talked-
can identify my report.
Okay. Then you talked about the police form 17As.
Yes.
If these police forms you reviewed prior to carrying out the analysis, if they are shown to you, would you be in position to identify them?
My lord, I can identify the police form 17A, which I worked with, because it bears the stamp of Forensic Gateway and also the date. That stamp has the date when the exhibits reached the forensic gateway.
Police form 17A bw'eba endagiddwa eyo gye nagoberera nsobola okugitegeera nti yeeno kubanga eriko stamp awo ebizibiti we bituukira n'ennaku z'omwezi diro ya funibwa.
What else?
My lord, the same form has the laboratory number. In this case, DFS, DNA 164/2026.
Repeat that, please.
My lord, the PF17A also has the lab number, which in this case is DFS/DNA/164/2026.
Era police form yemu eyo 17A eriko namba ya labu eyalambibwako ng'eri DFS kasaze DNA kasaze 1064 kasaze 226.
That form was received on 7th of April 2026.
Era form eyo yaleetebwa nga nnaku z'omwezi 7 ogwokuna omwaka 2026.
The same form, my lord, has an attachment of the letter from the OCID of Kabaragala, dated 10th of April 2026, requesting to examine a specific number of exhibits.